Alright, so yesterday we talked a little bit about the importance of product reviews, why you should do product reviews, and why also as a consumer you should review some product reviews. We said yesterday that some of you guys will be thinking about buying vehicles. Someday you'll be an adult and it'll be very exciting to buy a dishwasher, buy appliances. You'll get really excited about that first washer and dryer, or in my case, a vacuum. Recently I really wanted a nice vacuum, something that was going to get everything under the carpet, all little crumbs that my kids happen to kind of disperse amongst the house. Real quick, easy to use, lightweight vacuum. And it's a lot of stairs in my current house. And so I did lots of research. I actually asked family members what they liked, and ended up finding one that was reasonable, one that was lightweight for carrying up and down the stairs, and one that had really good reviews, meaning that I was going to spend an okay amount of money, but also receive a good quality product in return that I wasn't going to have to replace in just a few years. So we do this frequently, right? And we made a whole list yesterday. You guys did restaurants, vehicles, products, books, and then we titled one teenage stuff. And so you have a list, and most of you yesterday, by the time you walked out, you decided, you know what, this for sure is what I want to do my review on. Alright, so taking a look at our handout from yesterday, we took a look at why we should be consumers and good reviewers, and then also when we are formatting our review, and now that you've picked your item, I want you to answer these questions. What it is, what it does, why it was important to buy it, who's it for, how's it used and how it works, what's good about it, what's bad about it, how much does it cost, and then where can I possibly buy it. And you might even be reviewing potentially the site or the location in which you bought your vehicle from. Maybe even the person or the place. Anyway, couple summers ago, if you guys look at your first review on the bottom of the page, a couple summers ago, my friends Clint and Tracy, along with their 2 kids, and my husband and I, along with our 2 kids, wanted to find a place where all of us could, what we call rendezvous. And we do this twice a year, and we usually find a middle location between Eagle River and here, and we've picked all sorts of places. We've done the Dells, we've done Duluth, and we thought, let's go back near our stomping grounds, Stevens Point, and I thought, well, we camp now, we could get a camper, or we could rent their lake house. I looked online, on their actual campground website, because I had camped there before, my husband had camped there before, we camped there with his family, I grew up around there, heard great things from people, but it's been 10 years. So I looked online, looked at the pictures. They looked good. The place was nice, everybody was going to have their own bedrooms, there was a nice common area, there was a fire ring, Lake Dubé was right there. Perfect, right? And it was reasonably priced. So I went online, checked for rental dates, got the weekend that we needed, and then booked it. I probably should have gone on TripAdvisor. I probably should have called the campground. I probably could have even had my mom and dad run down there, because when we got there, it was a hole. It was one of the worst looking campgrounds I've ever seen in my entire life. We pulled in, we paid for the rest of our night, they told us, or the rest of our time there, went down to the lake house down the street, they gave us the Wi-Fi password, not that we really needed it. We walk in, and it is not a lake house. It is a dilapidated building that also was a duplex. And so one side was like 12 people staying in a bedroom, and our side, we walked in and it stunk. The dishwasher was leaking stuff. They gave us a single roll of single-ply toilet paper for 8 people. They had about 6 spoons and 2 plates. We had all of the kitchenware stuff. We go outside, there's no fire ring, we built one ourselves, there was black mold in the windows, it was gross. We probably should have looked for a hotel to go stay at instead that had a swimming pool, because once we swam in the lake, we had swimmer's itch. So it was all around just a debacle. So I went on TripAdvisor, and this is one of the reviews. This is a review that I wrote on TripAdvisor. I've written a few reviews since then. If you've never been on TripAdvisor before, it looks a lot like this. You can type in whichever, like wherever location that you're looking for, and then it'll also give you, if you click on there, hotels, vacation rentals, things to do, restaurants. So if you're doing sightseeing, it gives you a list from 1 to however many they have, items of places that you can go and visit. People review them, tell you the little ins and outs of what the place is like, how much it costs, is it worth it. So that is one of the really kind of cool sites, and I'll show you what I checked on 2 weekends ago in order to get a hotel. I didn't do that for this one, and I should have. But here's the review that I placed on there. It says, between the dates of August 22nd and August 24th, 2014, our family, along with another family, rented your lake house at your campground. Online, the pictures looked warm and welcoming, and the view of the lake looked spectacular. We immediately booked it as our summer rendezvous destination for our families. As soon as we pulled into the campground, we noticed that it was not as well kept as it had been years ago when we camped there. When we got to your house, there were people there, and we were confused as to why. It was because it was not a lake house, but a duplex. And to be honest, that's like the minor detail of the entire thing, like lake house or duplex. It was the fact that the place was a hole in the wall. Once inside the house, it was quite apparent that this was not the same as the pictures online, so it was completely misrepresented. The windows were rotting out, the dishwasher was broken, there was a total of 7 cups and 5 plates, the air vents had bugs down in it and it smelled musty. I headed down to the check-in building so that we could get our allotted paper towel, garbage bags, and toilet paper. At $280 per night, this is unacceptable to provide 1 roll of 1-ply toilet paper to 8 people. On the outside, there was not a fire ring like promised, so we built one ourselves. The online information also said there was a dock and a swim area, but there was not one. We'll be contacting the Better Business Bureau about this misleading information, and we'll be contacting you for a partial refund for the inadequate living conditions. And so my kids got sick from being there, like not only swimmer's itch, but Gage got really sick. They couldn't identify what was wrong with him. I think there was something in the air, I don't know. But it was not a pleasant experience, and when you're spending your own money, you want to make sure that you have proper accommodations. I will let you know that I'm fairly certain that this campground is no longer in business, as there was hardly anyone staying there when we pulled in. That should have been our first indication. The next sort of partial review I started for you guys is actually, I should finish this one. So, the as seen on TV things, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I wonder if they're actually, do they actually work? Should I buy the Bump It? The egg extractor, we had one of those. It was supposed to take the shells off by putting it inside and you would squeeze it. That was a nightmare. But I was wondering, oh, they pump these as seen on TV things, do they work? So when I was at Target, this was years ago, right before I had my daughter Avery, my husband's like, you should buy the pet egg. I think that would be really cool. And I buy it, and I thought it was cute. And like I said, I should finish this review because it's not cute, and it's not fun, and it actually hurts. And they make a new one, it looks like a roller now, every time it comes on TV, it truly frightens me. So I buy this, and it actually, if you ever have a cheese grater at home, it looks like a cheese grater with the really small slots. So I buy this thing, and I run it across my heel one time, and that's all it took for me to feel like I was going to throw up. And I put the thing aside, my husband's like, it can't be that bad, and he starts going to town on his foot, no big deal, yeah. Then he's like, oh, I think I'm bleeding. Yeah, because it's a cheese grater. So what he does, I'm going to return this thing, right? So he puts it, I think he cleans everything up. I see it on the counter with the receipt. I'm like, all right, it's in the Target bag. Next time I go to Target, which is fairly frequent, I take it back, And the guys, and this is gross, I'm sorry, and I'm not here to defend myself today, he takes it and he's checking to make sure all the pieces are there, opens it, and my husband forgot to empty it. That's gross. Anyway, the thing, don't buy a pet egg or anything that looks like the little cheese grater file your heel thing. The last one I have for you guys is a restaurant review, and those are fairly simple for you to do. That's the last one on the back side of the handout I gave you yesterday. Every year when we do Christmas shopping, we make it kind of a full day event, and that includes needing to have lunch. And once you have kids, you will realize the value of wanting to have a meal without having to feed someone, cart someone to the bathroom, or have them whine about they should have ordered something else and then they want to eat your meal. So it's nice to have that, decompression time while you're shopping. And plus for us, we are in such a hurry to get everything done that sometimes it's nice to sit and talk about, should we go back and get that? So we just wanted to enjoy our lunch. So on that day, I had Jordan Keller came over and babysat for me, and we went into Eau Claire and did all of our shopping and went to Texas Roadhouse. Now I usually love Texas Roadhouse for the buns. I'll go there, eat a bunch of buns, and then take my dinner home. And I'm going to guess that some of you do the same thing. So that day, I was less than pleased with the service. It was busy. I get it. It's around Christmas time. But I will tell you, it was single-handedly the worst meal I've ever had there. And I've had one more bad meal there since, and then haven't really gone back. When I finish this review, because I did send this to them, I'll tell you the payoff sometimes of being I can't say a good complainer, somebody who's tactful in the way that they are expressing their feelings. Like, don't be a jerk about it. If you actually want the company to know something and do better, you can send it in. So that's what I did with this one. And so this is just kind of the shortened version of what I wrote in. On Saturday, December 14th, 2014, my husband and I, so I gave you guys the exact date of when this happened, and I think that's important that you let us know that this is, you're not going to write about something that happened years and years and years ago. I would never send my pet egg one in because I don't think they make them anymore, and let's be honest, it's been 8 years since I've had, that really disgusting experience. We were taking a break from our Christmas shopping and headed over to Texas Roadhouse in Eau Claire for a quick bite to eat. I could hardly wait for my Diet Pepsi, you guys know me, and my basket full of buns to start off my meal. This didn't happen until 20 minutes after we were seated. At that point, my salad came before my meal. I've always been pleased with the large portion sizes that Texas Roadhouse provides, but this day it was like they were low of every condiment in the restaurant. And so my husband had a burger. It was not good looking, and he's a foodie. Well, he'll admit that. I got the chicken tenders because those are delicious, right? And they were awful. They weren't fully cooked. They were soggy, like you would cut them in half and it was still like leaking stuff. It was not good. And like I said, usually you get buns when you get seated, and I really wanted my buns earlier. It was really nice about the way I expressed my dislike for this. I sent it in Texas Roadhouse. I emailed it to them. They sent me a gift card. They didn't refund me my whole meal price, but they sent me a gift card. And a little bit of that is they want their business to come back, right? I was on Facebook not too long ago, and somebody was asking about the new East Bay restaurant opening again. And for those of you who lived around here for a while, know that some of those restaurants in Holcomb are in and out quite frequently. Paradise Shores, where the old Iron Horse was is now Johnson Crossing, and East Bay has been in and out. My father-in-law did some work in there, and we went for their grand opening, and it was really nice, and it was super tasty. And somebody wrote in on Facebook, like one of my friends, tell me some good things about East Bay or Johnson Creek, or give me like a good place in Holcomb to eat. And people are writing in their mixed feelings about how East Bay was okay, and they hope that they would start serving better food, and this was their experiences. And the owner actually hopped onto that thread as people were talking and said, would you please call me or email me at this number or send me a private message. I'd like to talk to you and then offer you a meal. It's not like he was soliciting people to just be like, oh yeah, I'm hoping to give out free meals, here you go, come eat. It was more like he wanted to make sure that problem was rectified and that he wasn't getting any bad PR. And I think that's important for restaurants to make sure that they are viable and that they keep their customers happy, because if you're unhappy with prices, with your service, they should probably know rather than you going on a social media and just complaining about it. So I didn't, type on Facebook or anything like, oh, worst chicken tenders of my life. I emailed it to their office, and I wouldn't have done that had I not talked to one of my friends here that said like, oh, Texas Roadhouse, they'll take care of you. And I wasn't asking them for anything. So if you had a bad product, maybe you had something that you weren't happy with, you might potentially be sending something to Nike and saying, you know what, the soles fell off my shoes and I'm not very happy about the fact that I spent $115 on a pair of shoes on sale through Eastbay, and they didn't hold up through the entire season. And so I think it's important that they know if they have a defective product and that you as the consumer aren't wasting your money. They also want to keep you happy because maybe you'll go back and buy another pair of shoes. That'd be great, right? I also am leaving for you guys today some different samples. We have everything from Axe, making sure that, the Axe effect, keeping the ladies happy. Review on Axe. Like I told you guys, we've had a lot of shoe ones. This one's for Nike. We had backpacks, phones, the iPhone. We have a LifeProof case in here that somebody highly recommended it. But then in the same breath, I had somebody else who also had a LifeProof case and then decided to test it, and it did not do its job. I have a hotel one here, which is really nice because I think that if you're somebody who travels, that a hotel is a good thing because, sometimes hotels get a bad rap. We were looking for a hotel for forensics, and my group said, you know what, I'm not sure if we want to stay at the Chula Vista. Back in June, they were in the news for having bed bugs in their hotel. Now, bed bugs can be a frequent occurrence in many hotels, and it doesn't always make the news. This one did, and that was slightly frightening to them. So I was looking up reviews to see what people have been saying since this bed bug incident, and there was a lot that people were saying. And I was a little bit skeptical because my guess is they took care of it, and that they're still fairly full. But we are actually trying something else. We're trying to go to the Wilderness instead. And I thought, well, I need to review the Wilderness and see what the accommodations are in their cabins, their lodges, what the water parks look like, what people have said, is it too big? Is it a place that just is, not worth the money? Because they do charge you a lot of money to stay there. And then one other one that I have that you guys can take a look at too is the Lipton Diet White Tea Raspberry. So a product of the consumption kind. So if you are unhappy or really happy with a particular candy bar, with a particular drink that you have, on my Grant's Kickstart yesterday that gave him one of my favorite ones, and I will print it for you guys tonight, being that it is getting to be almost 9 o'clock, and here I am making this video for you guys for class for tomorrow. One of my favorite ones was from last trimester, and it was Katie Klingbeil. And I hope she's not overly embarrassed that I'm sharing this, and I think she'll actually be okay. She reviewed the Buckle, and anyone who's ever received service at the Buckle knows that they work on commission. And so part of it is making a sale, and that's important for them. And she just had the worst experience with one of the sales girls being overly pushy and not very nice about the items that she was trying on, that has turned Katie off for life. And as she shared that with us last trimester, we were going through some of the reviews on the day they were due, and people at our table were reading them. They were laughing a little bit because some of them had similar experiences, but nobody ever really calls out the Buckle on that. I don't know why. But if you aren't having a good experience there, she wrote a really comical one. I'll make sure to stick it in the sample folder for you guys to take a look at. So here's what I need you guys to do today, so that when I come in on Friday, I'm happy. You are going to pick that product. You are going to answer those 5 W's and H on the front side. Whether you use those in your writing or not, that's completely up to you. Examples and support as to why this is a good or bad product. You need to give us the why we like this, why we don't like this, and be very, very, very specific about it. 3 to 4 solid paragraphs of information. Solid means solid. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many sentences. You see from some of these examples, I feel like if you're giving good examples, just like these examples did, you will be just fine. You've all had an experience with this product or this service or this item, and you should be able to tell us about it, why you bought it, why you liked it, what were the features that make it so great. And then we are going to, this is Tuesday, but we don't have a Tuesday. On Friday, at the second half of class, we are going to do a little bit of editing together to make sure that this is a nice, polished, final piece to be turned in. So I'll pair you up with a partner, you will share it on Google Docs with that person, you will read it, make any of those editing changes, that way you have another set of eyeballs looking at it. I'll also tell you guys, you can feel free to share with me on Google Docs tonight how far you got, and then that'll give you an opportunity to have me take a look at it also and see if there's anything that needs to be done. By the time school's over with on Friday, this needs to be turned in. So that means if you didn't finish everything that you needed to in class on Friday, because you will have the whole class period to work, that then you will have an opportunity to use some of your resource time. Alright, so you guys have fun today. I hope that Hattie and Sika did their presentations. You guys got your reading minute done. You've got this. Alright, so I'll see you guys on Friday.